Hello. Welcome to another round of games at the Fort Meade Cup. This is Coach Matt or Snipa attending the draft from 29 Troll Kings versus 34th Ducks. And I'm joined by Sejuani's Flail and my brain is failing me.
Yes, Tallow.
Tallow. What's up?
Not much. Excited for tonight's game. Didn't get to cast Tuesday since I was playing, and excited to join in the booth.
Yep. It's going to be a very interesting set of games tonight. This is going to kind of decide our main portion of this week when it comes to this rankings. Super excited about that.
We are getting deeper into the tournament. It's at the point where a lot of teams are starting to shape up. Matches mean a little bit more. It's exciting. So we can start going into the draft. We'll have an abundance of time to talk about the draft. 20 Troll Kings coming out with the Kha'Zix and Yorick bans. Yorick could be played by someone on Ducks, I'm guessing. I don't know that he's necessarily a priority top ban right now. Kha'Zix, generally a decent ban, could also be played by a member of Ducks, and then Lulu as well for a good disengage pick getting taken off the table. And then Ducks banning Twisted Fate, Urgot, and we'll see soon some more mostly meta bans there.
Yeah, we do want to highlight that due to late roster submissions tonight, the 34th will lose 3 bans. So they have used their 2 available bans for this game, and they will have the timer run out for the next 3.
Note to teams, get your rosters in on time.
Yeah, rosters are due an hour before the game, and for every 15 minutes after that hour mark that they are turned in, you lose 1 ban. And if you turn it in after the draft is supposed to be starting, then you would lose all your bans. So we've had some issues with rosters being submitted late, and this was an initiative to hopefully help teams be a little bit more on top of that.
We've got a Maokai pick first from Troll Kings. Very flexible pick. Could go top, could go jungle, could go support. Pretty decent first pick. And then the Lucian bot from Ducks. Lucian Nami. It may have been nerfed quite a bit, but it still synergizes very well.
I really like the early flex pick with the Maokai. It's just such a strong pick right now. So getting it early in the draft doesn't immediately give away where it's going to go and gives you a strong pick pretty much wherever you decide to put it in the end of the draft.
We should see, I presume, also the support get locked in for Troll Kings. Jinx getting locked in, definitely a very strong late game marksman. We'll have to survive the lane against Lucian Nami, but we'll see what the support pick ends up being. Ooh, opting to take a jungler.
Yeah. I mean, Kane's pretty good jungler right now. They have a feeling that if they didn't want to lock in a support right now, it could be that they're fine with playing Maokai into this matchup. And they're just going to keep it there, and they wanted to hide what could be their top or mid until the second half of the draft. So we will have the Ducks ban fade out, get 2 more bans from the Troll Kings, and then Ducks will have first pick in the second half of the draft before the Troll Kings have to decide who they're going to counterpick with and who they're going to pick blind.
You're right.
Yeah, really. It really feels like this whole entire draft is waiting to see where Corn's going to be. It really feels like both teams are kind of holding off that top solid pick just so they can figure out which which one they're playing against that, so they can set up the matchup to their favor. It's gonna be very interesting in these next two picks.
We've got Warwick taken out of the jungle. No Warwick for Ducks. I know that their jungler does play a little bit of Warwick. It is going to be interesting if we end up seeing that Maokai be in the support position or still could be top lane. I'm very interested in what's going to happen at the end of this draft. That Maokai pick was huge for a first pick. We had the Aatrox ban as well. We got a little
Do you think
Diana
that's
jungle.
nice? They're really holding back their top pick.
I'm guessing we're going to see a heavy engage crowd control top lane from Ducks. Troll Kings is doing all right on that front so far, and we've got the Zoe mid locked in. Ooh.
Looks like Corn's bringing out the setback again.
I really like the Diana. I feel like it's not even that much of an exploitable champion. It looks like it's probably going into the jungle. But it also could be a mid flex if they wanted to put the Akali in the top lane, but with that Tahm Kench hover, probably not. I'm not quite sure how Tahm Kench does against Set. I know it's probably not the champion you want to be your front line, but it looks like they're locking it in anyway. And we'll have to see how this unfolds. Really interested to see how the Zoe goes. I want to say Braxy's played it once before, at least in the league. So,
Yep.
very interesting pick overall. I do think we have two aggressive bot lanes over here. Jinx a lot weaker in the early game, a lot stronger once we get into the mid and late. So there's a lot of scalability here on the side of the Troll Kings, while I think the Ducks are just going to look for a lot of like skirmishes and like really aggressive fights, especially in the early to mid game, since they have this really big early skirmish power with the Diana, with the Akali, with the Nami Lucian.
There's definitely pressure on Ducks to get some kind of early lead. That first 15 minutes for Ducks is going to be extremely important. What do we think? Let's talk about predictions for how the game's going to go. We'll start with our resident predictor, Tallow. What do you think?
Look, it's really gonna come down to how well that mid game plays out. Right now, they've got a lot of it's an engage comp looks like versus has more of like a CC stun comp. It's going to be very interesting in how that plays out. It's really going to come down really to top lane, and if Kench can actually stun Set and keep Set locked down enough so he can't scale, and that bot lane can actually successfully get that prio they need. It's going to be really rough early for that against that Jinx Maokai.
Yeah, it's gonna be a scary first part of the game for Troll Kings for sure. If you had to make a prediction, percentages, just a flat out prediction, who do you think's gonna take this one?
If it goes in the late game, it's probably Troll Kings at this with a team comp like that. Absolutely. If they can get that early game one, it's going to be in the hands of the Ducks with that kind of comp. They just have to control that early. It's going to be crazy.
How about you, Porter? What are you thinking?
I really feel like with the track record that the Troll Kings have so far, they are an extremely strong team. I want to say that they are so far undefeated, and I would be correct in saying that. So we'll have to see if they're going to continue their win streak tonight, or if the 34th will finally squeak out their first win. The 34th has had two incredibly close games, and their first game, I think, even was pretty close itself, just not as. So it's really a toss up for me. If I wanted to edge it out, I think I'm going to cheer for the side of the 34th right now. I want to see them get their win. I know they're a really strong team. I know they play really well. It seems like a lot of them know each other and are friends and play together. So I hope that synergy really shines out tonight. I know it did in the game that we played against them. And so, yeah, I have a feeling that they are a lot more to be feared than the scoreboard currently shows in the standings.
Do you think Braxy will have the fancy feet?
I feel like you can't. He showed a little screenshot getting called a scripter from last night, and I think there's nothing more polite to be said to you if you're not a cheater than being called a scripter. It's just like the best accidental compliment ever. So if that shines through at all, I think we're probably going to see it again tonight. So I really hope it happens. I want to see what this scripter Zoe looks like. And see if we see the fancy feet just like we did in the game before.
I think I would say I'd be a tiebreaker on the predictions, but Tallow predicted that both teams would win. So I think if I have to pick between Troll Kings and Ducks, I think Troll Kings are capable of playing safe enough to make it to that sweet spot about 25 minutes in and be a huge threat. And I'm going to give it to Troll Kings. And I at least know that Braxy has the ability to not get caught out and become even extremely fed off of dodging skill shots and getting out of situations that most people wouldn't get out of. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, man, I am excited overall. I love actually getting to watch Kane. I used to play a ton of Kane myself. I haven't played it much lately, but I did play and get a little taste of it the other night, and oh, it is such a strong pick, especially if you get opportunities to go blue Kane in this game. I probably would. There's like 3 squishies and a Diana who can be squishy, could be tankier. You have the opportunity for it. You'll already have 2 beefier champions on your team with the Maokai, the set. You don't really need to be that red Kane frontline for your team. So if I see Sketch go blue Kane this game, I'm going to be extremely happy. It's just very strong. It's extremely good with the new lethality items right now. The Profane Hydra is a really strong item with it. And yeah, I mean, Matt saw me the other night using that, and I was one-shotting waves and camps with just WQ Hydra active.
I thought we weren't going to talk about that ridiculous item.
Yeah, don't keep it a secret. Don't let anyone know.
can't-
Don't build it. It's a bad item.
Riot's
And
going to nerf
instead of-
it.
No, they're
Shh.
not going to nerf it. They're just going to buff Ravenous Hydra, apparently.
Oh, that's right. Well, that's what you do. When one damage is a little too high, you buff the other 99 things that are lacking and just increase damage across the board over and over. I
Yeah, I
forgot.
mean, thankfully we've never had an issue with damage creep in this game, and we've never had to do like any sort of like durability patches or anything like that, just because we let damage slowly get out of hand and get to the point where everyone's dying in less than 1 or 2 seconds. But yeah, like I think it's a good time. I think it'll be really fun. And we'll see about it 10 seconds.
As we get synced up here, I'm just gonna put the waiting screen up for a second. We'll be right back.
And here we go. Welcome to game 1 of the night. 29th Troll Kings versus the 34th Ducks. We're with a 3-0 team against an 0-3 team. It is exciting, but do not let those standings or score lines deceive you. Both of these teams are incredibly good, incredibly strong, and I'm excited to see how this game is going to play out. It looks like both teams are going to opt into an early 5-point, with Kane getting this early ward onto the red team's jungle. And number 1 Creed fan going to go for a bit of an aggressive trade solo into the enemy tri-brush. But other than that, not much going down. Set may look for a recall opportunity, but also that champion just has insane health regen, so he'll probably be full health by the time the lane starts.
You know that number 1 Creed fan was calmly singing a Creed song to himself as he punched Praxidium top, right?
Oh yeah. Which one do you think he was humming to himself? He was not even humming. He knows all the words.
I think he hit them with higher. I think
that's exactly what he has it probably on a soundboard every time he's about to ultimate. Can you take me higher?
He's actually just role playing right now.
Yeah.
On set.
This is the perfect champion for him. But yeah, jungler's going to start in opposite quadrants, or same quadrants for their own side, but opposite sides of the map. So Diana and Kane both going to look for these early 3 camps. Looks like Sketch is going to go Raptors into Krugs and then finish with his red buff. This is a great opportunity for a clear because it gives you a chance to actually look for an early gank. So for Diana, she'll have a chance to look mid lane, and for Kane, he has a chance to look either mid or bot lane. Looks like there's an on the way ping to the bot lane, but Caparino getting the early level 2, going in really aggressively, going to have to drop the heal from Kermit because of the aggressive ignite. And actually, we have our own Tyra Kuroda over here onto the support role this game. I didn't quite get the I didn't quite get all of the players lined up for tonight, but we don't have time for that. Sketch going in for a gank onto Caparino.
Oh!
Lucian trying to flash in to finish the kill. Not going to be enough with the heal. And Zilu not able to get anything either. That is going to be a double kill onto Sketch.
Yeah, that sets him up for a huge lead, especially with that bot lane needing to be a lot of pressure for that objectives early. I mean, making this mid gank probably next setup.
I would love to know, did Troll King's bot lane take that bad level 1 versus level 2 trade on purpose with a plan for Sketch to come in and get a couple kills?
Was it a bait all along?
It could have been. It was a scary bait, but it could have been.
Looks like it worked in their favor, though.
Praxidium getting bullied, quite frankly.
Ooh, here comes the gank on mid lane.
Yeah, Eli looking for the gank opportunity, but not able to finish off Braxy there. And Sketch is just waiting off in the river just to take his little crab and get out of there. AOI going to walk into here, but going to walk into a freshly taken crab and just going to get a control ward for their... Oh, not even for their time. They're just going to get pushed off by Sketch over here. Smitty not able to do much more. And Caparino going aggressive again in the bot lane. Did not learn his lesson, but it doesn't really matter. They are Lucian Nami. They get to control the lane right now.
Ooh. Big trade.
This is scary.
Or not even a trade, I should say. Just big damage coming in from Caparino.
Oh, here comes the
Ooh.
flash from top lane. Seth's getting ready to set up for his kill up in the top lane. He's getting ready for his 6.
We see Praxidium not backing because...
Oh!
Oh,
Yeah, AOI going to have to flash away though because of the set damage, and Praxidium dying to the set W. Huge play from #1 Creed fan right there to just look that danger right in the face and say, no, you stepped into danger, not me.
if only everyone knew that the way that you beat Set is not damaging him. If only people would just never hit him and just leave him with absolutely no W damage. But you can't do that in League of Legends. It's not allowed.
And so Sketch is going to take the Void Grubs for the early neutral objectives on the side of the Troll Kings. And there's not going to be any response from the side of the Ducks. AOI just going to look to keep farming after that failed gank top and potentially be able to look bottom here with the rotation, but the wave has to bounce back, so looks like the Ducks are going to recall in the bot lane instead.
Praxidium getting a little confident in the top lane, walking right up to #1 Creed fan. Both top laners just calmly farming. You definitely see a lane control advantage for Creed fan. He's trading quite a bit with Praxidium, but the minions are pushing at him. We might see it all in here, though.
Yeah, Tahm Kench going to use the Devour onto the Set. Set going to respond with his own ultimate to the Showstopper, trying to stop this show. But meanwhile, it's his show
That's the
being
kill in
stopped.
Creed fan.
That's the trade kill.
Praxidium said, not today. I'm still in control of
Is
this
this gonna be
lane.
an overstay with this Kayn? Ooh boy, here comes in the Kayn.
Ate the Set and the Set's chances to even win that fight.
Oh, here
Meanwhile,
comes the
Kane's
ult.
going to use the Umbral Trespass, going to finish off the kill,
There's
but
the
going to
kill.
die to the tower.
What a beautiful top lane early. It's not even 8 minutes and we already have, what, 5 deaths almost up there? Holy moly.
Luck getting bullied. Just bullied. Somebody's gotta find Caparino and Zulu's mothers and tell them to get control of their kids and stop bullying people on the playground.
Yeah, this is definitely cyberbullying over here.
Yep.
Looks like AOI coming in here. Cluck going to have to flash out, going down into Caparino's culling, and the Nami wave, the tidal wave, actually coming in to secure Sketch right there on the backside of it.
Very
#1 Creed fans on
interesting.
the back foot.
Yeah, the Tahm Kench pick turning out big in the top lane. I wasn't sure how well it was going to do in this matchup, but it looks like that answer is very much. And Lucian going to just dash in, have the Nami E on him, has the ignite, and takes that kill for himself. You cannot stay in that lane.
The Ducks
Yep.
bot lane is getting exactly what they were looking for. They're getting that early lead built up. This isn't what
It's
you
very
want as
nice
Troll
to-
Kings.
It's very nice to see Kench picked up that Bramble Vest for that early healing reduction so he can actually brawl with that set and not take so many else he was taking earlier. Very smart play.
Overall, pretty good game so far. Still tied up in gold Objectives a little lacking from the side of the Ducks, but no towers have been taken quite yet. 2 plates have been taken in the bot lane from the Ducks, or by the Ducks rather. And nobody looks to even care about this dragon existing yet.
I would expect that one of the teams would have gone for a dragon at this point. It's 10 minutes.
It looks like they're prioritizing that Void Grubs though. We got Troll Kings over here getting ready to set up for the Grubs.
I will say the Ducks not getting any grubs is a little bit the opposite what they want. If they want that early lead, they want to get those easier turrets early, and the grubs are huge there. It's unfortunate that Troll Kings are getting all the grubs.
I'm just surprised that they're having Kench go in at all. What, that was a horrible misplay on their part. However, even though Kent is distracting them up there, they're still taking that dragon right now. So it's not like they got nothing going on their table.
It's definitely a decent trade, even though it is unfortunate they lost the potential.
Ooh, here comes the Maokai and the Zoe.
Maokai sacrificing his body to make sure Braxy gets out. Creedfan really taking advantage of that 6 grubs buff and slaughtering a couple turret plates while he has the opportunity.
Yeah,
maybe 3?
Which team do you think is going to actually get the first tower? We got bot lane over here trying to compete with Creedfan for first tower right here.
If we see a gank, we do see a gank. Not the one I was talking about, but if we see a gank from AOI2 into the bot lane to secure that first tower, almost definitely a Ducks first tower. But if we don't see that, it could be Troll Kings.
Honestly, it doesn't even have to be a gank. It looks like Kench is finally applying the pressure to the corn. As long as we can keep, as long as they can keep that set pushed back.
The Bramble Vest from Praxidium actually caused him to take turret aggression because of getting hit by #1 Creedfan, and then he got pulled back into turret to take a few more shots. That was a good little trade by Creedfan.
Yeah, it was definitely that Thornmail that hurt him a little bit.
We see heavy vision control from Duck's bot lane. I don't know that this gank from Sketch will work, but top's going down. Ooh! Ooh!
Yep.
Creedfan's looking for first turret. AOI2 is up there to try to hold the turret, but they're not going to.
That's a scary lane. I would not want to go into that lane, even without him having ultimate anymore.
I would think AOI2 could at least wave clear, but they didn't want to try it.
Yeah, it's best to keep that guy without so much of a lead.
That's a little burst of gold there for Troll Kings. Troll Kings still ahead overall in this game, which is honestly better than even where they would hope to be, considering the early game strength of Ducks. Ducks need to find an opportunity in the next 5 minutes here. They're losing ground.
Yeah, they're definitely losing ground to that jungle, especially. There's a lot of weight on that top jungle right now where they're going to just keep getting beat up by those rotations. Especially as we head into this mid-late game.
Tidal Wave coming out. Jinx is going to be able to dodge that, but Cluck is going down to the culling. Very aggressive play from the side of the Ducks, but very well executed. They are walking away with this lead, and they are using it and not letting it go to waste.
There's a big opportunity with good rotations. I think Ducks could make a little swing here if they capitalize on how far ahead Caparino is right now.
There comes in the Zoe.
Yeah, Zoe going to land the bubble, get the Drowsy onto the Lucian. The Super Mega Death Rocket not able to secure the kill, but Sketch will. Meanwhile, Zilu trying to run for her life and going to go down to the Umbral Trespass.
Praxidium is laying down the damage.
Yeah, Praxidium going to use his Devour, looking for an opportunity, but there's a fight also going down in the bot lane. Smitty going down to Kermit over there, and number 1 Creed fan not able to land the Skull Smasher. He is going to hide in his minion wave, looking for an opportunity to chase him with his move speed, but it looks like that they are just going to handshake and walk away from each other right now while still trying to clear these waves.
Creed fan's okay with that too, because he's got extreme regeneration with low health from the set passive. So he has
already
no
back to
complaints.
health, half health.
And he's also got that wave controlled. He's just a guy basically almost a cheat wave with the way that's wave's been controlled.
Looks like the Troll King's going to set up a little bit for this dragon, not going to start it immediately, looking to have Creed fan walk down here to the dragon, have an opportunity. Braxy going to teleport back onto the map, and meanwhile Praxium and AOI coming out of the base. This looks like this will be our first 5-on-5 opportunity for this game. We're going to have to see how it plays out. There's a teleport coming in for Praxidium, going into the Tri-Brush from the blue jungle. They're going to go for the Sleepy Trouble Bubble onto AOI, taking him down. They're not going to be able to do much more. Creed fan chasing Smitty, and Smitty going to have to run away. Now the rest of the red team is getting trapped. Praxium getting drowsy as well, going to sleep, going to wake back up, gets Skull Smash pulled back in, not going to be able to jump out, gets dead, and that's more of Set getting fed. Caparino flashing in, going to dodge the zap, going to use the culling, not at the best angle. Kermit walking out of there, and Sketch going to look for an opportunity to go on, misses the knockup, takes the Umbral Trespass, going to come back out, looking for the finish onto the spot lane. Zilu having to flash away, does not have that heal available. They're going to now switch onto Caparino, finish him off. The Maokai locks down Zilu, taking him down to Braxy. Dragon went down in the meantime, and Creed fan just winning these fights in the middle. The W is huge!
You would never believe that Creed fan's set is more or less a tank, based on how much damage was put down there.
Oh man, that was such a crazy split fight, and for the Troll Kings to win on all fronts, that is concerning to say the least. You have this really strong bot lane capabilities for the side of the Ducks, but they weren't able to capitalize on it. They didn't get grouped. The Troll Kings intercepted every red team member before they were able to group up with each other before this objective, and they were able to pick all winning fights and get the objective secured for themselves.
Yeah, it really plays down to how the performance was earlier this season. It all came down to positioning. None of their team was grouped enough like Troll Kings was, and it just kept their damage away from their tanks. They've really lost that fight from the early.
The unfortunate flash coming out, not able to do much from Praxium, but teleport from Creed fan. They're going to get a huge moonfall onto Braxy, but Braxy's going to get out of there, and Sketch is going to fish him off. Smitty's trying to run away along with Praxium, but they're going to try to stick onto him. There's not much going down. The ghost runs out from Sketch over there, but they still get the opportunity to take down Praxium.
That Kayn lead's insane now. They're really losing just to the Kayn and Set right now.
Yeah, it is starting to look very grim for the Ducks here. I talked them up a lot before this game, and I'm going to have to be a little bit more honest right now. This is looking like the worst performance that we've seen from them so far. They've had really promising games for their first 3, and this is not one of them. I do not know what happened, but Yeah, I really expected a lot more from the early game here, but we'll have to see if they can hold on to this game and let their champions have a little bit more of a chance to scale up, get some more items, and see if these later game fights go any better for them.
Yeah, they got to work on their positioning. Right now, they're so spread out, and their enemy team is so grouped on them. They keep losing fights because they just don't have the damage near the tanks.
There's definitely been a difference in map awareness and positioning between the two teams. The Troll Kings had just a very clean early game with multiple successful ganks. Even though the Ducks bot lane overall was ahead and still is overall ahead compared to their counterpart, the entire rest of the team has been behind, and Sketched has been a huge part of that with a little assist from Braxy here and there.
Ooh.
Yeah, Sketch looking in over here, going to be able to take out Zilu very quickly. Trespass going to finish off Caparino as well, and Braxy lives by a sliver of HP as they take down Smitty for the last kill. Number one Creed fan looking for opportunities in the bot lane, charges the Rift Herald in and using that to get a fight onto Braxium. Braxium going to finish off the Rift Herald and stop this push.
Yeah,
Creed fan has the Trinity Force. He's looking very scary.
Yeah, now Sketch looking to fight into the jungle. AOI not able to do much. He dropped the Moonfall and he dropped his life. He's now in the gray screen. Meanwhile, the Showstopper pulling Tahm Kench back into here. Praxium looking for any sort of support from his team. Zilu coming back from the base, drops the tidal wave and looks like going to keep her top laner alive as the Troll Kings take the dragon.
Yeah, you remember how we called the prediction? It was all going to be about that early game and how well they could suppress top lane. Early game, Braxium was really doing well at suppressing his set, and it just could not hold it that long. It's really paying off with that Triforce, especially. This is how their late game just gets nasty. They're just king at it.
AOI flashing in, trying to get an opportunity onto Braxy here. Braxy getting away with the heal that he just got from those minions right there. They're going to drop the Sleepy Trouble Bubble, but they're going to be able to take him down in exchange. The Super Mega Death Rocket coming down, not able to finish him off, and the rest of the Ducks are going to come to support and walk him out of there.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
They make a bakery Diana skin, and she throws out croissants.
Call those croissant moons.
Right, let's make it happen.
What would the ultimate be, though? Just like a giant pancake?
Yeah, or like batter going everywhere.
Oh yeah. Ooh, just like, oh yeah. You could have the pancake come out and then like the butter and syrup get dropped on for the second part. Number one Creed fan walking in here, going to go on a Caparino.
Oh,
Huge
no.
damage going on to him. The Maokai ultimate going to lock him down, but there's no more follow-up from the side of the Troll Kings. They're going to now look for this Baron as Caparino has to take a recall. A lot of stuff used to keep him alive right there, and I don't know if they're going to be able to defend this Baron. There is a ward on the Baron, so we'll have to see how the Ducks are going to respond here. There is an 11k gold lead right now from the side of the Troll Kings. Very strong team over here, looking for an opportunity to pick someone off. Flashing on to Caparino. He doesn't have much. He flashes away. He dashes away. He uses the culling. Number one Creep fan not able to do much more. Cluck looking for an opportunity to get onto someone, but does not have quite enough move speed. Then looks like the Black Knight's going to just take the red buff for their troubles, get red for everyone on their team, and have to clear this vision again if they can. But turning onto the Baron nonetheless. Braxy in the bot lane, pushing the wave in, getting that extra pressure. There's a lot of opportunity here for the Black Knights. Teleport available from the side of Braxy, and the rest of the Ducks are just in the base. Their jungler is in the mid lane. They're not going to contest this at all. They're going to try to get this trade tower in the mid lane. She may go down for it, but they may just be willing to take that sacrifice. Troll King's going to chase her down. They do have Kayn. She doesn't know that she's being chased. She's going to get turned on right now. She's dropping the Moonfall, not able to do much, getting chunked out, getting deleted by that lethality. And that is AOI getting the trade objective, but not able to keep her life there for the cost of it.
Braxy Zoe taking some free turret damage, but keeping the fancy feet buff up as always.
It's very interesting how their positioning has slowly weakened their position in this game. They've had vision control, and they had all these objectives they were trying to get, but their positioning in this game just really slowly creeped up on them, especially with where they're reacting with all this top lane action. Their bot lane action wasn't as weak, but it's very interesting how Troll Kings exploited that. What do you say, Saj?
I just wanted to comment on Braxy's movement real quick. It feels like there's just something about these World of Warcraft players. We've seen it with Kulin on the support, the Cog from the Hawks, and now we're seeing it with Braxy. And oh my gosh, while we're talking, the rest of the Ducks are just getting deleted. Sketch going to go down in exchange. But they're going to use the Showstopper on Illusion to get into the base. They're going to devour Diana to try to keep her alive. That shield going to protect her quite a bit, but Creedfan just taking them down using the Skull Bash. Going to take down Praxidium as well for the quadra kill in their own base.
Praxidium saved AOI's life, and then both of them went back in to get swept up.
Is that...
Oh my gosh, another opportunity where Braxy denies the pentakill from Creedfan. He said it before, he's gonna say it again. You have to earn those, but the only thing that he did earn was this win. GG, Troll Kings.
Well.
Yeah. There's something about these WoW players, man. I swear they get so used to dodging these mechanics that they just transfer those fancy feat skills to League of Legends.
I would just like to point out that champion damage. Got Corn doubling his own mid laner's damage. Holy moly.
Should we try to get Creedfan in here?
I'm tossed up between Creedfan or Sketch. I think we've heard enough from Creedfan. I don't want to hear him cry about losing a pentakill again. So let's pull Mr. Anastasia up here for this post-game interview as we get ready for Game 2.
Hello.
Hello, congratulations on your win. Looks like you popped off. You gave me everything that I wanted minus the blue cane, and I am oddly satisfied. I don't know.
Oh, so what's crazy is lethality red cane is way better than lethality blue cane.
Makes sense, especially with all that like champion lifesteal from the from all the abilities. Honestly,
it's mainly profaned Hydra that does it because of the active on it. Basically, just makes collector like an auto, you know, like the passive just procs so fast.
Yeah. So can you talk us through this game? How did it go? It started off a little close from both sides, a really aggressive bot lane from the side of the Ducks getting that lead despite the early gank. But it looks like you guys just took over the top half of the map and walked away with it.
Yeah, so since our bot lane are both we have a sub and then well, we have two subs in the bot lane today just because Zabal's not available, and then our typical support Wade, he you know, he's PCSing, so he's going to be gone for a while. So we kind of had a feeling that we were going to weak side bot side just because we're more familiar with Walton and Korn, so we were going to strong top side regardless. So I wanted to try and get that gank if it was set up for me early to try and give them a little bit of an advantage early. But basically it was kind of like, we know Lucian Nami's super strong, so they're not going to win that lane. So we kind of just were like, try and survive and let us scale. and then we can handle it from there, basically. But I think they did a really good job in the bot lane, considering.
They definitely minimized the impact that the bot lane of Ducks had. Did you have a starting plan of a level 3 gank bot, or was that reactive because they had the bad level 1 trade?
It wasn't because of the bad level 1 trade. It was reactive, but it was just because they were pushed up, and I was watching them the whole time I was clearing, and I saw they didn't ward. So I kind of just took my opportunity. I do that a lot in solo queue too. I'll 3 camp bot side jungle and always look for a level 3 gank bot if it's there for me.
Every other team, write this down. Quick.
Yeah.
Troll King strategy. Get it tracked.
And then I start top side and level 3 that.
Yeah, it was very interesting seeing your positioning and how you played for Krugs early. Did you know that they were going to try for Dragon early since they had that bot side advantage?
So I don't really think first Dragon is as important, especially in a team setting where everybody's on comms, as trying to get all 6 scrubs is for like the long term of the game. Especially since it was Cloud Drake. I'm still a firm believer, no matter how much Cloud Drake gets buffed, that it's the worst dragon in the game. So I really wasn't even paying attention to if they were like setting it up or going to do it or not. I was just more focused on keeping control of topside and trying to get all 6 scrubs.
It worked out. The Ducks actually almost desperately needed those grubs to try to push our early lead with their comp, and they got 0. So it went well.
Yeah, especially since we had a set in the top lane. We were going to say, like, worst case scenario, if Lucian and Nami do snowball, he was planning on, if that did happen, he was planning on building Hullbreaker and just utilizing those 6 scrubs to, like, just basically split push the entire time. We were going to play around that and play passive.
That's evil.
Yeah.
That's some classic Corn content right there.
Yeah, you got to play around the Corn content.
Yeah, it's Corn time, and now it is also going to be time for game 2 of the night. We are going to start to get ready for the draft. Thank you for joining us for this post-game interview, and congratulations on staying undefeated.
Woo! Gonna keep it that way.
Sweet. Any other parting words from the casters before we take a quick break?
Tello?
Honestly, it's pretty cool kind of watching how you synergize with your top laner, even if he's more like a split sided guy. It's very interesting how you set up your early off of that. The one thing that I have from you is, what were you expecting that early kill from the Kench?
So that's, I always expect early kills from Tahm Kench because the champion is just kind of ridiculous, especially with his auto attacks, dealing so much magic damage early. So I mean, basically, if you hit 1 Q in a 1v1 fight in the top lane with Tahm Kench, you pretty much almost guarantee a kill unless they blow summoners. So I know it's kind of hard for set early, but he ended up like salvaging it, so that was good.
All right, and I'll just say, great positioning and macro play on Troll Kings. Job well done. You earned that win. I'm gonna take us out to the music for a minute or two while we get all loaded in for the draft, and we'll see you all shortly.